Hello and welcome to my August 15th update for my GTNH playthrough. As you see right here, I've got just starting some big crafts. I'm about to go play some cards, so just figured I'd throw on some huge crafts that are going to take a few hours. And as you see, this one's been going for about a half hour. I actually recorded this episode once already and then realized I didn't actually turn my microphone on, so whoops on me. So hopefully I don't skip anything because I feel like I've talked about it already by accident. But I didn't do crazy amount today. Today was my last busy peak day, so at work, so wasn't too much time there for slacking off. But anyways, so yeah, I got these crafting. I've also got a ton of dense cable crafting. I want to replace all this cable with dense cable. I should have just done dense cable to begin with because I'm going to have more terminals over here and then a few other connections that I'll need, like specifically for the magic terminal, for example. I'll need a V relay coming out, so that's another channel and stuff. So I'm going to very quickly run out of these 8, so I'm going to swap all this to dense and that shouldn't be an issue. I might even color it gray or something to kind of blend it in down here. Maybe I'll do like these gray and then do gray blocks here to balance it. So main thing I did accomplish today though was down in here. So we talked about this yesterday, got all this set up. What I didn't get set up, however, yesterday and is all up online now is, so this guy, I'm pretty sure both these were set up yesterday and fine. It's down here, so I got all 8 of these EBFs set up. These are still just rocking the nichrome coils, but once those HSSG ones finish, I'll swap all these out. And then I might even immediately start... Actually, no, I take that back. I was going to say I might immediately start crafting the next tier, but I need osmium, and to do that I need to breed one more bee, which I think I might do this weekend just to have that running in the background. Because then I'll have a bunch of there's a couple things I want to put on, passively work on in the background while I'm messing around with magic on top of this stuff like osmium and indium, just because I was looking ahead and those seems like things I'll need in bulk, and I might as well have them running now while I'm doing other stuff, kind of work smarter, so to speak. So as you see, I got all these 8 EBFs set up. And instead of going to each one individually, we can come over to this interface and see that I've got steel, stainless, aluminum, titanium, tungsten, tungsten steel, black steel, tantalum, and neodymium coming in here and crafting. After I've got a bunch, I'll probably take this neodymium off for until I need it again, and then might paralyze up the tungsten or something just to get a big backlog of this, because I was looking at it, I've got 50,000 tungsten dust from that bee so far, so I could probably get away with crafting quite a bit more. I don't have anything auto crafting the tungsten steel dust. I'm just crafting a couple thousand at a time, although I haven't needed to craft any more yet. And then the other thing I got set up was the last thing I tore down over here to do this new setup, which is these 2 electrolyzers, now running perfectly fine on our new setup. And these guys are now on EV. They were on HV before, so I'm producing even more oxygen and hydrogen, so it shouldn't be a problem for a while. We'll say, I'm thinking about, I probably won't, but debating about changing the type of filters used over here to the ones with the removable swappable part, and then just having something auto crafting those just to reduce the pollution. In the first take of this that I didn't record the audio, I actually had this stuff on and poisoned myself. It'd been a while since I'd done that, so that was kind of funny. But anyways, on to the other stuff. So everything else is more just kind of planning for the future. So let's talk about the dense cable there. I do need to set up some magic relays. I'm thinking to make my life easier while I mess around with magic, I might set up some different pattern terminals over here so I don't have to run back and forth every time I want a new pattern in the system. Also, I'm going to set up, I need to craft 2 new wands for the I keep calling magic terminals, the arcane crafting terminals, because each one, they need a wand. So I'm going to have to look into what wand. I know I have a bunch of options now, I just don't know which ones I should go for to leave in here permanently. Or I'll try to maximize my capacity in these terminals, or I'll probably do scepters realistically, but get those crafted. The only things I did like craft today is these bloody scriver's tools, which did mean I had to mess around with a little bit of blood magic. Nothing crazy. I had a lot of it already, but it was just, it had been a while since I touched that setup. But I made these specifically because even though the other day I crafted these electrical ones, I don't know if I'm blind or what, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to fill the ink back up on these. So essentially ran out and it's kind of useless for me now. But these guys are tied to I crafted 2 of these. They're tied to the blood network and seem to work just fine. Don't seem to run out of ink. And I've got a huge blood network, so we're fine. The other thing I did is got this tank on here. Technically I did this the other day, I finally remembered, but today I hooked it up to the network because I assume I'm going to need to start doing some auto crafting with this soon. I'm definitely not going to go through the manual labor that I did for creating this tier 4 thing in the first place for the Frenzy Flame, but I just wanted to get through it, and it was worth it, even though it was very monotonous. But I should have immediately after I finished hooked a tank up to it, because this guy, even when I'm going full-fledged bees, more than keeps up while also getting drained into a tank. And if you don't know, this drains very slowly. So, but we got a good backlog now, and then it'll just, just more over time. Did 1 infusion today, and that was specifically to craft myself this wand focus. And I did that because I wanted to see in this warded glass recipe, the wand focuses in the middle. I wanted to see if this was eaten up, because if so, that's a very expensive recipe for 4 glasses. It doesn't get eaten up, it just spits the focus back out. So I'm not really sure how this is going to look when it comes to auto crafting, but we'll figure that out, because I feel like the system's going to be like, oh, you don't have enough wand focus in there, so I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to work, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, I know it's a little bit of a shorter video, but I need to go get ready for cards and take off here in a few minutes. I just wanted to get this out now versus later when I'm tired and it's been hours since I've done anything. Like I said, in the immediate future, I'm gonna, probably tomorrow after I gotta get up and work on my car, and then I'll probably stay inside to avoid the heat after that. Hook up these coils and then start messing around and doing some wand research and figuring out all that jazz. So I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.